Hello, so my name is Charles Biacor. So I wanted to do like kind of like show some of my so I wanted to show some of my poetry. I wanted to show some of my skills. Um, you know, of course, that's something I can continue to learn and develop. But I want to show some of my skills or I have some. See, the thing is, like I said, even though you might see the other videos and it shows that I'm renditioning other songs or reciting other songs and singing or rapping or whatever I'm doing, I actually have my own talent, and I've learned a lot from these, you know, from the music. I actually used to sing in choir, and I've had great choir teachers over the years. You know, I've sang over the years. I've had good schools. In addition to the other subject matters that I studied, but I've always liked music. Like I said, from hip hop and rap to R&B to country to heavy metal to soul to jazz. As long as it's something that makes sense, that is revolutionary, but also has a message, even if it's party rap, even if it doesn't have to be just conscious rap. I like party rap too, or rap that is just for the party or to go to the bar club to have a good time with. And by the way, I like classical music too. You know, Beethoven, Bach, Mozart. So and I like spiritual music. Um, you know, I like gospel, for example. You could look at a lot of examples like of gospel in our world, especially in American music, African American gospel and soul and rhythm and blues and R&B and funk and so many examples. But here's the thing, I have a little bit of talent myself. I can maybe perhaps work on it a little bit. You know, I never really wanted to be a rapper, but if I really took it more seriously, maybe I could get that route. I don't know, but as far as I'm concerned, I you know I have some poetry, or I have some poetic abilities. I have some poetic talent myself, and I have this poem that is reflective of our times. It's called it's again, I have my own talent. I have my own talent, and I have a poem that even though I might rendition other songs and like to recite other songs, but that's not always true. I have my own talent, so I have a poem that I called. It's called "These Are the Times." That I have my own poem. So let me go ahead and read you my own poem. It's called "These Are the Times." So check this out. These are the times. These are the times. These are the times. Our ideas, thoughts collide, propel at the speed of light. Which side do you choose? Are you good or bad, or are you neutral and confused? But you can be neutral and choose a good position. However, in our world, there is so much that we can put into fruition despite the evil. I say, these are the times, these are the times. Our system is corrupt, but morally, we have a choice. We could progress forward with decisions or move backwards. These are the times, these are the times. Our decisions should be much smarter rather than awkward. I say peace is important, but sometimes we have to use force to stop evil indeed. I'm a God fearing man. I see potential. We must fight evil. We must come together to fight evil. We must stop crime. We must stop corruption. We must listen on every level, locally and federally. But if our government is corrupt, where do we go from here? Inevitably, Currency, literacy, trade, economy are all in question as corruption has risen indeed, and we are all in a brutal life. Our freedoms are taken. There's war. In our world, there's injustice. Families separated. Sometimes it's our own mind that can be our greatest enemy. And those that do good are not represented. Heartlessness is on the rise. But however, we still must rise. We still must solve these issues that pertain as we make it to the heaven, to the skies. In all conclusion, I believe in me and I believe in God. I strive, I strive, I strive. This is the message to all in this life. So really what I'm saying is, again, like I said in the interview, in all the other videos, we have a lot of potential in our world for things to improve, whether it be the military, the police, the armies. We can use it to solve crime on every level, and of course, as a black man, not only, am I aware of racism from every level, like, okay, so I know that I try not to pull the race card too much because even though I'll say that, yes, not all white people are racist, but a lot of them are racist. You know what I'm saying? There still are a lot of racist white people, but then you also have some black people that can be hateful as well towards your own kind. You have black on black issues. The same way you could have a white person that can be racist. But then not every black person and white person has tension. We can get along. We can find ways to mediate. That's why we should learn to communicate in ways that are constructive. But when you keep having, okay, so there's good things that can be in our government, like there's good things that can come about as far as solving problems, solving solutions. Everything is not always bad. And again, you have good democratic values and you have good Republican values. Everything is not always bad in our government. You got a lot of good things that we can learn from our government. But if we're just looking at the bad things, and we're looking at things that are not helping our situation, and we're not actually working on the things that we can do to solve our problems, then what kind of society is that? When you're having things like healthcare and benefits being removed, people are working hard. They need to see the benefits so they can apply it to reality. So they can apply it for financial literacy, invest in homes and marketplaces, and educate their kids. See the family tree grow. But see, these are the things we're still dealing with. So all I can say is really just continue to survive. I'll keep this in mind. I'm not saying it's the whole government. I'm not saying it's every. Listen, it's a beautiful world we live in. I'm still very optimistic. I love to be an American citizen. The fact that we have rights that some places don't have. But then I think we could do better as America. You know what I'm saying? Just because we have rights in America doesn't mean that we're better than other people, because in some places in the world, even though they might have less rights, the quality of how they interact might be better. There's other places in this world where they might not have the rights we have, but they might help each other better as far as community. But then they might have dictatorships. You see, we got to really look at things and be grateful for what we have in America and look at our world that we live in. So we can learn from the world in the same way America could learn. I look at it like this. America can learn from the world the same way the world can learn from America, and vice versa. We can work with each other. It doesn't have to be an enemy situation. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my poem that I made. This is my own poem, not somebody else's song or anything. But anyway, thank you. And again, I like all types of music, all kinds of motivation, and have a good day.